Macedonia in English. Just about everything you want to know.
President Ivanov meets UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon assessed during his meeting with President Georgy Ivanov in Vienna that progress could be made in the name issue talks if there is goodwill and a constructive approach. At the meeting, the interlocutors exchanged information and view on the name talks held under UN auspices following mediator Matthew Nimitz's last meetings. Ivanov welcomed the increased dynamics in the process and highlighted that Macedonia, as has been the case so far, takes part in the process actively, constructively, and with goodwill in order to find a mutually acceptable solution. According to him, such a solution might be reached if the other side demonstrates the same approach and adheres strictly to the framework within which the negotiations are held. EU delegation head on political situation in Macedonia. The head of the EU delegation to Macedonia, Ambassador Ivo Orov, despite saying that the events of the 24th of December were not good, does not believe that a boycott of the local elections is a good step. There is a little window of opportunity this week for the political leaders, for party executive committees to find the solution for this political crisis, Orov stated. According to him, if a solution is not found, it means that there will be very big risks not only for the political leaders and the party executive committees, but for every citizen of Macedonia. He stressed that the EU has clarified on many occasions its position on the political situation in Macedonia, adding that the heads of the delegation of the European Union in Skopje, the OSCE mission in Skopje, and the United States Embassy in Skopje issued a statement 2 days ago. SDSM officially decides to boycott elections. At the session of SDSM's Central Board, it was concluded that without a political agreement on holding early parliamentary elections, the opposition party's decision to boycott the local elections and return the MP mandates is final. SDSM said the Central Board's conclusions are a clear message that the legitimacy the institutions lost can only be returned by the citizens through free and fair parliamentary elections. The session of the Central Board, in an extended composition, with the presence of presidents of municipal organizations, mayors, the parliamentary groups, and the official mayoral candidates, focused on all aspects of the crisis, the possible solutions to overcome it, as well as the effects the active boycott of the upcoming local elections will have. The members of the Central Board concluded that VMRO-DPMNE's alleged proposal is a transparent maneuver which does not demonstrate political will to normalize the state of affairs, but represents a thought-out provocation against the joint opposition, which once again confirms the government's totalitarian character. It was established that the participation in the local elections cannot be treated separately from the annulment of the parliamentary democracy through the party police putsch the government carried out on the 24th of December, SDSM said. 1 day after devastating floods. 1 day after the floods devastated the eastern region of Macedonia, around 30 inhabitants of the Štip villages of Stepanci and Puhce have been completely cut off. The situation in Štip is slowly returning to normal. Water has been delivered from Kočani, Skopje, and the Army of the Republic of Macedonia. Water samples were taken before the delivery. 7 wells have been activated, but the water is still not potable. The Pishica Dam is also under control. Mechanization is already on field and the local population is back in the region. Sveti Nikola electricity has been restored, while Radovish village Letovo locals have been supplied with food, water and medicine by helicopter. EU Commissioner Füle regrets Macedonia's EU integration stalemate. Macedonia is prepared to start European Union accession talks, but it is depressing when there is no response from the European Council, underlines Enlargement Commissioner Stefan Füle. Over the past year, we have held several rounds with the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia within the so-called high-level accession dialogue, and tried to open the issue again. There is nothing more depressing than constantly saying a country is prepared for accession negotiations, but without a reaction coming from the European Council. There is nothing more depressing than constantly saying a country is prepared for accession negotiations but without a reaction coming from the European Council. This is not a positive incentive for the country, says File in an interview with portal Euractiv.cz. The Enlargement Commissioner says attempts have been made to stimulate Macedonia in its efforts, adding that the Macedonian government has managed to do this. The Macedonian Academy of Sciences and Arts holds 46th Assembly. The political crisis may cause broader negative societal implications, MANO President Vlado Kambovski assesses. In his speech on the MANO in 2012 and 2013, within the 46th Annual Assembly of the Academy, the President said the crisis threatens to harm the Euro-Atlantic integrations, wherefore the MANO has appealed for sooner overcoming of the political crisis through dialogue. Regarding MANO's planned work in 2013, Kambovski notes that the program is prepared in conditions of minimal yet encouraging signs for improvement of the position of science and culture. Prospects for achieving the basic activities of the Academy are opened by the National Strategy for Development of Culture 2012-2017, adopted in the Parliament, and the National Program for Promotion of Scientific Research Activities 2013-2017, which is in government procedure. Rapporteur Howitt may visit Skopje again. At his meeting with Vice PM for European Integrations Fatmir Besimi, EP Rapporteur on Macedonia Richard Howitt announced he would visit Macedonia again on Thursday. Before the start of the meeting in Howitt's office, the British member of the European Parliament told Besimi he intends to travel to Macedonia in order to hold meetings with the political leaders because of the developments in the political crisis in the country. The way things are going, I will come to Skopje tomorrow if nothing changes today, Howitt stressed on Wednesday. Boškovski accused of spending state money with no legitimate proof. The Ministry of Interior informs that former Minister Boškovski failed to account for $7,800 spent on 2 trips. The court started a procedure several months ago, but Boškovski has never appeared to a court hearing since the procedure can take part in his absence. According to the Ministry of Interior's charges, Boškovski traveled to Turkey and Australia but failed to provide bills as a confirmation to the expenses during the trips. The money was taken by Natalia Ivcheva and Dragica Maneva, employees of Boškovski, who were authorized to withdraw money and submit invoices. The former minister says that charges should have been pressed against the 2 employees and adds that this is an outdated case.